Lopez just getting up on his board there, but pretty much having a wave break on him as soon as he got up. So second there, trick for Hendrik Lopez is a crash. We go back now into sequence with Tim Sermon, blue lycra. Beautiful event site we have in here in Sylt. Look at the promenade there, full of exciting brands, great food. And you can see it's also very busy out there. Sun is now starting to be in that sort of annoying spot, let's say, where it makes it a little bit bright, but we'll do our best to make sure that that picture is perfect for you. So yeah, Tim now having a little look over his left shoulder, doing his trick left foot forward. It's always best to do your trick left foot forward now at this spot with the wind direction, because you can use those kickers to your advantage. As Tim here finds a nice one, likes what he sees, goes up with an inverted front roll, but doesn't quite get the lift with that down loop to propel him back up to get that board under his feet. So the only one with a trick on the scoreboards is Yaris here with a 5.17, a back roll front loop. As Yaris up next with that duotone. Perfect stuff. So really nice angle here of Yaris. You can see he's riding that duotone Rebel 5-struck kite, so he wants a little bit of meat on the bone when it comes to the freestyle. He'll get it with that because that's sort of that dedicated big air style, and it's definitely conditions out there for Yaris. Just taking it easy, going through the motion out there, left to right, finding the right little takeoff point. I think, if correct me if I'm wrong, Yaris did jump left foot forward last time. So here we go, Yaris, left foot forward, finding the right kicker. Likes what he sees, goes up, inverted front roll with a rodeo, board flip as well. Hefty landing, but he sticks in, stomps that one nicely. That's what we want to see. So who are you rooting for, everyone at home? Who would you like to see take the title here in Sylt? Fire us your comments. Let us know where you're watching in from. I can see there's a few of you tuning in now as we start the early rounds of this lovely event in this beautiful setting of Sylt. Next to jump will be Hendrik Lopez. Here he is on your screen. So Hendrik Lopez, left foot forward, coming in with a bit of speed. And just losing his board there and dropping out the sky. So here we go, just getting things underway here on the early rounds. Do be patient with us. I know just then that the screen went a little bit dark, but we're working on it to provide a really solid base for all of you tuning in at home. So now Tim Sermon, third trick attempt. Coming up to that halfway point when it comes to the tricks. Heats will actually be quite long here. They're going to be about 25 minutes because, like I said, every rider's got 6 trick attempts. And then once they've done that little sequence, they'll be going on to the wave element, which will be a further 8 minutes. So Tim now, left foot forward, finding a kicker ahead of him. You can see now, takes that one up, starts to steer the kite to 12. Just going for a little bit of a board flip there, getting travelled quite downwind and actually riding that wave nicely on the way down. But comes straight into the beach. Will that count? Although he did ride out of the trick, it wasn't too long after where he actually had to ditch the board. That tells me one thing, he's jumping too close to the beach. Won't be wanting that. Want to be getting scores on the board. So Yaris now the one rider with the 2 scores on the board. And we go over to, yeah, our current heat leader, Yaris Delomo. Scores dropping for Tim at the moment. So Yaris, right foot forward, back roll. Sort of, is he going to time it well? How did he get away with that one? Just about managed to scoop the board back under his feet. Okay, up next, Hendrik Lopez. Currently ranked 5th in the world, a good result over in Cape Verde. Worth noting that with Cape Verde, it was a pure wave event, so no freestyle element at all, which is actually going to make things rather interesting here in Sylt, because some of these riders prefer freestyle, some of them are more dedicated to wave riding. So having this trick freestyle element and having a score actually count from the tricks is crucial, really, to you know, seeing who can advance. 3 scores are going to count. One of which will come from your freestyle, one of which will come for your wave, and then either your second best wave or second best freestyle trick will be the 3rd score counting to the overall. Bit of a mouthful, I know, but that's what we want to see here in Sylt. You know, we've got the conditions here to be able to ride some waves, but also conditions that allow our riders to showcase the other aspect of this discipline, which can be freestyle. So Hendrik Lopez, left foot forward. Don't think that was going to be his trick there. I think he was just going over the wave. Be very surprised if that was Hendrik, but he does have 3 crashes at the moment on his trick, so he's really going to be wanting to land at least something. Challenging conditions, to say the least, as well out there. I mean, it's pretty strong with the wind, and as you can see, there's swell, but it's very bumpy, it's choppy. And these riders on their surfboards, they're not riding with straps. So it's definitely challenging when it comes to yeah, picking and choosing the right takeoff zone. Also on the landings can be quite challenging. And without a good landing, you're not going to get a good score. Okay, Yaris, once again enjoying the freestyle aspect. But they're having a crash, but he's looking good. .14, so yeah, weight up of a 5.97 and a 5.17. Hendrik Lopez still struggling just that little bit. But Hendrik will be the next rider to jump. Hendrik Lopez now, looking like there's a bit of rain coming down. Sun, rain, wind. Sylt's got it all. So Hendrik, left foot forward, finding the right kicker. Goes up, back roll, loops the kite by the looks of things. Little board flip on the way down. Perfectly timed with that down loop. That's what we want to see from Hendrik Lopez. Look at it, he loves it. Little bit of a smile on his face. He struggled to get into the rhythm. There you go. Stoked on that one. Very nicely done there from Hendrik. And what I must say is that the timing for these riders to initiate that down loop, because they're going to get enough height today where they're going to need to initiate the down loop, which will give them that little bit more control and that little bit extra lift on the way down from their tricks. And Hendrik Lopez there demonstrating exactly what it perfectly looks like when you get it bang on the money. And I think that's going to be probably one of the higher scoring freestyle tricks that we've seen in this heat. I mean, Yaris has got the highest one with a 5.97. Hendrik Lopez, this is going to be around the mid-5s, I reckon, for that last one. So, 5th trick attempt now. Tim Sermon had a board off from the last one. Important that these guys charge into these waves. Speed is your friend. So here we go, Tim Sermon, locked and loaded, ready to go. But again, you can see the positioning of that kite really high up. If he pulls it in now, he's not going to get any momentum to go high. Maybe slightly overpowered. Let's have a little look at the live wind read while we're at it. Yeah, we've got about 26 knots out there. So I think if I remember seeing some of these riders, what, 8 and 9s. Obviously, riding a strapless board, you do have a little bit more buoyancy. And Tim there going over the front of his board during his turn. He's only on a 2.87 at the moment, which is, yeah, after Hendrik's last trick that's dropped to the 5.2, he's now sitting in 3rd. Worth noting that 1st place goes straight to round 3. The other 2 aren't knocked out just yet. They have another chance to continue their run in this competition going into round 2, but Tim is absolutely hating life out there right now, spending more time swimming on the board during this trick attempt, which just goes to show it's challenging out there. You know, it's up and down, it's windy. You can see as well he's fully depowered pretty much on his kite there, and it looks like the wind's picking up a little bit more as this heat is going on. I mean, yeah, it's up to 30 knots now, so all of a sudden a little bit of a sort of a stormy rain cloud's coming in and it's picking up the wind. You can see challenging as well to even get out with the waves breaking quite close to the shore, but nonetheless he's back on his board now. However, I do think that he's going to miss his turn. So over to Yaris now for his 5th trick attempt. As here he is on your screen, probably going to turn around. And see just how windy it is at the moment with a slight shaker. Got about a good solid 30 knots out there at the moment. 6 trick attempts we have here. So Yaris currently in that 1st position. We are in the trick section of this heat. I did say a little bit earlier, but some of you may have only just tuned in and be thinking, hey, what's the format here? I mean, what's the play? What's the angle of attack? Well, the 1st section of these heats is going to be 6 trick attempts for all 3 riders, and they're going to be going in sequence, one after the other. Once we are up with all riders doing their 6 trick attempts, we're moving on to the wave elements, all right? And there's 8 minutes, and riders have 8 minutes to ride the waves, and they'll all be going at the same time. We'll do our best to follow all the riders during these 8 minutes, and then their best one, they'll have 1 trick score, they'll have 1 wave score, and then the 2nd best trick or the 2nd best wave will be the 3rd score. That calculates their overall heat score. So Hendrik Lopez here on your screen. 32 knots now out there, so it is picked up big time. So we follow and we continue to follow Hendrik here. Looking like, I'm pretty sure he's on a 9 meter. But a 5-strap kite as well, it looks like it. So left foot forward. And he turns around again. You can just see how much the rain has just poured down if I the look of Hendrik Lopez's kite there, and also on the camera lens. I mean, we're doing our best to keep everything neat and tidy for all of you tuning in at home. But here in Sylt, we're getting all sorts of conditions thrown our way. We've had massive rain clouds coming through. As mentioned before, we've had upwards of 33, 34 knots, all the way dropped down to 16. So we're really being thrown a spanner in the works here, but we are doing our absolute best to provide a great stream for all of you tuning in at home, wherever you are. Do let us know where you're tuning in from. Fire some questions in the comments on the YouTube as well. We're going to also try and get some of our riders in the booth to join me in here. So if you want, oh, Hendrik Lopez with an absolute slammer there. Heavy hit for Hendrik there after that crash. But yeah, let us know who you want to see try and get in the booth. We've got plenty of big names here in Sylt. And Hendrik just making his way back into the beach, grabbing his boards. And just trying to get past that little bit of dumpy shore break actually at the moment. Tough conditions out there for these athletes, but they are the best in the world. That's why they're here, that's why they're competing. We're not going to give it to them easy. So we still focus with Hendrik. It is worth noting that these riders have roughly 90 seconds, no more, to perform each trick. So I'm just checking if Hendrik has been tricked out, because I believe we now go back into sequence with Tim. Hendrik had the crash that we did see. So now we focus onto Tim Sermon, that one in the blue lycra. You can see just how challenging it is there for our riders to even get past out into that competition area. So Tim Sermon now riding right foot forward. Here we go, locked and loaded. Has done his tricks actually quite close to the beach, and although he's landed them, he's actually ended up pretty much on the beach after every trick. So Tim here riding nicely powered. Also now, as we reach this point in the afternoon, we're having that sun at the sort of that awkward angle where it sort of glistens against the water, which on some of the camera shots it will make it seem very, very bright, but unfortunately there's nothing we can do with the sun. We can't just pick it up and move it. But we will, like I mentioned, do our best to cover, you know, different angles, different ways of showcasing the talent of our riders that we have at this competition. Yaris now, we must have missed, I think, Tim Sermon. Yeah, he did have a crash. But Yaris now our current leader. But we are yet to see the wave format. So here we go. Yaris, front roll rotations, a lot of board spins, bits, flips. He put it rodeo as well in between his legs. Not a crazy amount of height. But Yaris now coming into shore on his 6th trick attempt. So Hendrik Lopez, as you can see here, Yaris actually coming in. I did actually mention he was on the Rebel for his tricks. Maybe he's coming in and he's going to change to another kite, because yeah, it's going to be the wave element now. 8 minutes of wave riding coming up shortly, but Hendrik Lopez still has 1 trick remaining. Yaris, I reckon, might be switching the kite. Maybe he's going to switch down to the Neo, which is the wave kite in the duotone range. He was just on the Rebel. So yeah, Hendrik Lopez just struggling at the moment just to get past some of this swell. big waves out there. You know it's quite big and meaty when they sort of disappear behind one of the waves, and I mean the forecast for the next couple of days is showing even bigger swell. Hendrik Lopez, final trick attempt. As he turns around, right foot forward now, so he's probably going to have to initiate a move very, very shortly. Yaris there showing good variety with that tic-tac as well on that last move. But Hendrik, he wants to jump left foot forward. He wants to use the kicker. He wants to get that extra height. Most likely also going to be coming in for a kite change by the looks of things, riding the Moto X. He might want the drifter, let's say. Kite loop. And that's going to be a crash there for Hendrik. Yeah, you can see the frustration slapping the water. Yeah, he's frustrated. He's not happy. Body dragging his way in now. I can imagine, yeah, probably most likely changing the kite. So that is the trick element done now. Every rider has done 6 trick attempts. So there are the scores as it stands. Yaris has 2 good scores. Hendrik has 1, which was the only trick he actually landed during that heat. And you can see, yeah, he's frustrated. He's very frustrated. But it's not over yet because there's the wave element. So 8 minutes of wave riding coming in. Yellow flag is up at the moment. There's like a 1-minute interval now for our riders to come in, change kites, and get good for the wave section. Now this is going to be fine-tuning stuff. You're going to have to pick and choose the right section of the wave to go on. It's also going to be quite challenging because, as you can see, it's quite lumpy, mushy. And you probably just heard in the microphone as well the buzzer go, which means that we are now going into the waves. So we will try and follow whoever is on a wave at whatever given time. A couple of surfers over there on the left. So 8 minutes has started. Hendrik's back out there in the mix now. And it's definitely going to take some getting used to for our riders out here with these conditions. You can see they're wanting to try and reach that pulley to try and depower the kite just ever so slightly. Yeah, tough. Yeah, he's changed kite, so he's gone down a little bit smaller. He's also, I think that's the drifter now he's riding. So a kite change, tactical kite change from Hendrik. I'm not sure if Yaris did the same. It looked like he was still riding the Rebel. But here we go. Hendrik Lopez locking in. Toe side riding. Nope, didn't fancy it. So he changes around, changes the feet. Really challenging conditions here. As the two riders cross paths, one in front of the other. Yaris has a wave score now, 0.13. As does Tim, 0.20. Hendrik Lopez here. Nope. He wanted it, but he didn't get it. So we stick with Hendrik. Still knowing that he's hunting for this first wave score. Okay, here we go. You can see him starting to initiate the dive in the kite. Here we go. He likes what he sees. There's something forming a little bit. As soon as you see that little foot change, you know, all right, we're locked and loaded now. Here we go. Hendrik Lopez locking in for his first wave. It's starting to close out on him, though. He needs to pick up speed to get past this section. Yeah, you can see the frustration there. But there's still time. There is still time. We're probably coming up to around the 3-minute mark, I would say. So about 4 to 5 minutes left of this heat. There's Yaris now dropping in. But these riders, it's all about picking and choosing the right wave, because before you know it, it's closing out on them super quickly. So we continue to follow with Yaris. Hendrik Lopez 0.17 for that last wave. And now we go, yeah, we continue with Yaris here. Current heat leader of heat number 1, round number 1 of the men's kitesurf division. Defend the GKA Kite-Surf World Cup here in Sylt. Second kitesurf event of the year. We already have some rankings. Currently sitting in first place is Ayrton Cozzolino from his victory over in Cape Verde. Hendrik here on your screen is currently ranked in 5th. Looking at the rankings, Hendrik, yeah, he had a 5th place finish over in Cape Verde. Spends a lot of time over there as well, training with the likes of Matthew and Ayrton. And Yaris is still on this rebel here. So here we go on your screen. It's Tim Sermon. Sorry, no, Yaris. Looked like it was a blue lycra then. Hendrik Lopez finally being able to lock in, gets a little bit of a turn there, but wants to get a bit more vertical. This way, it's a fast, mushy wave here, but he manages to get quite a nice turn in there. You can see he's really trying to loop that kite to keep tension in the lines so that he can, you know, gain and carry on momentum on that wave. That is going to be the best wave ridden we've seen so far, but he still doesn't look too happy with it. However, that's definitely going to help his score, because he needs a little bit more on the board here. Three minutes now remaining left in this heat. Scores to drop for Hendrik here. Yeah, it's going to be the best scored wave so far, but it's not very high, but it will help that overall score of his. Yaris is definitely looking in a good position here with, yeah, about 2.5 minutes left remaining, because he did score 2 good freestyle tricks. A lot of current out there as well. And you can just see how hard it is to get out of this competition area. But he's up and rolling, he's up and riding. If Hendrik can get a good score here, he's got that 5.20. You can see he's also got the 2.23. If he can get a wave in the 5s, then he's going to be going... well, he only really needs a wave in the 3s, actually, to be able to advance through to first. If he can get, yeah, a high 3, early 4, then he'll be straight in the mix with it. As we focus now, he looks over his shoulder, he likes what he sees. Okay, a little bit of momentum going in. Nice big turn there, getting the fins engaged, but just loops the kite by the looks of things, and he gets completely total off the board. That first turn though from Hendrik was what we want to see. You know, plenty of commitment, really grinding up the fins into the wave, getting that spray off the top of it. That's what you want to see. Final minute now in this heat. If we can get another wave like that from Hendrik, that will definitely help his chances of getting through into first place here, because let me remind you, first place goes straight to round 3. It's always a little bit of a bonus. Yaris still has a bit of a chance though. Tim with 3 waves. Yaris has ridden 4, Hendrik's ridden 5. Hendrik Lopez now, you can see the 2 lowest scores are the 2 waves. So he's got 2 waves counting, and he's on a nice one here. Hendrik loops the kite, yanking on the bar there, really pulling the lines, as you can see, but struggling, yeah, to link the turns and the kite together. It's definitely there for him, and he's got it in the tank. He's a very, very, very talented rider, Hendrik. Great character as well to have on tour, always up for a good laugh, but absolutely rips out there. And yeah, just showing a little bit of frustration at the moment. I mean, these conditions for everyone taking a little bit of getting used to, as we now coming into the final seconds of this heat. Yaris there in first place. And you can see there, he's just altering the power on that click bar there. And there we have it. The buzzer has just gone. So in first place, we will be having Yaris, followed by Hendrik Lopez, followed by Tim Sermon. And we'll be back with heat number 2 very shortly. Just before we go to the next heat, we are going to quickly jump to a commercial break before heat number 2.
Wir sind die mit dem Frühlingsquark. Würzig mild, extra cremig und immer frühlingsfrisch. Für euch haben wir immer neue Ideen, damit für alle was dabei ist. Auch vegan. Macht's euch einfach lecker mit der Quark- und Streichvielfalt von Milram. Jetzt wild und neu. Frühlingsquark Wildkräuter.
There's so many different places that I've never seen before, and a million things I never felt this way. Time to go now. New horizons waiting, sail away with me. Where the oceans meet the sky.
AIDA, erlebt euch anders.
Got me upside down, spinning around you. Wanna taste the clouds, dance with them. Take a trip around your body. Boy, I love the way you got me. Starry-eyed, got me starry-eyed. Got me upside down, spinning around you. Wanna taste the clouds, dance with them.
So here we go, round number 1, heat number 2, and how about this for a heat? Check out the names on this bad boy. Leonardo Casati The brother of the the King of the Air champion Lorenzo Casati is joining us at this event. We've also got Kiko Roig. He is last year's event winner, so watch out for that one. A great freestyle background on that kid's hand. And then we have the Brazilian Gabriel Benetton, whose style is exceptional to watch. He's also got a great freestyle and wave riding, so he's going to be one of those riders that's wanting to go far in the competition. But take nothing away from all of these three riders. This is going to be very interesting because Gabriel, as I said, got a great freestyle, also rips from the wave. Kiko, probably one of the more stronger freestyle athletes that we have in this event, and this is where he's going to shine really. Last year was pretty much full focus on freestyle. And then we've got Leonardo Casati, the youngster, who's just like his brother, incredibly talented. So here we go, big heat inbound. There on your screen you've got Kiko. As we start the heat with the trick section. So freestyle tricks to start off. 6 trick attempts for all of our riders. They're looking to try and get the best score on tricks as they possibly can. And then we move on to the wave element, which happens on the last remaining 8 minutes. So heats are roughly taking about 25 minutes because on the tricks it's turn by turn. So we're now following, by the looks of things, Gabriel Benetton here, the core rider. Leonardo Casati with a strong start of a 5. We must have missed that first one, but here we go. Loading it up. Gabriel Benetton, right foot forward, looking for a little bit of swell to take up on. Gabriel Benetton. Nice rotations, looping the kite, sticks the board underneath his feet, does well to stay on there. And you can see that we're nearly getting swallowed up in that white water. But what I really like there about Gabriel Benetton is he yanks the bar to loop the kite to gain some speed and get out of the sticky situation he might have found himself in there. So Kiko crashed the first. Leonardo Casati with a front roll rodeo tic-tac. Gabriel Benetton also landing his first trick. So there we go. This is a good start to heat number 2 of round number 1. So Leonardo Casati here, opening up things nicely as mentioned and just waiting. They have about 90 seconds is what I was told by our judging panel to perform their tricks. So roughly 90 seconds per trick attempt. If they go anything over, they'll be tricked out and it will go to the next flag. They're looking by a flag sequence, turn by turn. On the beach, we've got some flag marshals that are raising their colour flag for representation of the colour lycra. And Leonardo Casati, next rider to jump here, and you can see him picking up a little bit of speed now. Clearly sees something in the horizon there. Nice kicker. Like his brother, rides for Harlem. Kite goes to 12, back roll. With plenty going on tic-tac wise. So he ticks the front roll category, he ticks the back roll category. As another landed trick now for Leonardo Casati gets thrown down. Still waiting for potential score from Gabriel Benetton, but we now move on to Kiko. Defending champion here in Sylt. First event win ever for him last year, so yeah, close place to this rider's heart. Right foot forward, Kiko there, plenty of speed now. Front roll, tic-tac. Nicely done. After crashing his first trick, Kiko will be happy with that one as we see the replay there. Nice height as well, plenty of control. Gabrielle Benetton. First trick actually went down as a crash. Maybe the kite was in the water during the end of that move. But Leonardo Casati really has opened up nicely here. We've still got that second score to drop, but just keep an eye on your screen, top left-hand side, because you're going to be seeing another score drop for the Italian. Yep, there it is, a 4.93. So good, two good scores there from Leonardo. You can play a little bit now. You see Gabrielle there just switching it around, coming back in towards the competition area. So here we go. Gabrielle Benetton not quite engaging just yet. You can see he's got quite a relaxed approach as he's waiting to sort of pick his moment to do this trick. But he has got to be careful here because he's going to run out of time otherwise. Shortly, the judges will look at tricking him out, and you don't want to go for a crash. But you can see here we're following Gabrielle. There we go, 2 hands on the bar, looking like he's going to engage now a little bit more, but a little bit more speed. Finds the kicker, round he goes. And beautifully landed there from the Brazilian. Another trick there to be scored. That'll be his first of the heat on trick attempt number 2. As we see the replay here, going for that front roll rotation, having that board glued to his feet. Thought maybe we were going to see a shove it at the end there, but deciding against it. Now hands the baton over to Leonardo Casati for his third trick attempt, reaching the halfway point with tricks now. So Leonardo Casati now, third trick attempt. Okay, Leonardo Casati attacking around. As you can see there, just waiting over his right shoulder, looking down towards the beach. Let me see if his flag's being raised. So here we go, left foot forward, Casati engaging, going in with speed. This is exactly what he wants. Sees a bit of a kicker. Is he going to make use of it? No, doesn't like the look of that first one. Maybe sees something over. Looks like he has. Disappears behind the wave in front. Kite loop with an added rotation and straight crash at the end. Not enough height there to be able to allow control on the landing. That'll be a crash there for the Casati. As we watch the replay here, yeah, doesn't quite get the pop really. Definitely wanting a little bit more pop. It must be so tough out there in the chop to really line up a good takeoff. We heard it from Teo Demanaz, who joined me on hydrofoil. He was a rider that competed in hydrofoil and also a rider that's competing in the kitesurf division. And he was just mentioning about, you know, picking and choosing that right takeoff point, especially when it's like this on the slightly higher tide. So crucial to be able to get a good takeoff. Leonardo favours the twin tip discipline, but like his brother, can do it all really. Didn't compete in the hydrofoil like Leonardo, but is here for the kite surf. Had a very good result in Gran Canaria twin tip in the big air. That was maybe about 3 weeks ago, if I remember rightly. 3 to 4 weeks ago, we had our final big air stop of the year. Jeremy Berlando taking the world title over there in the Canaries. But Leonardo Casati, I believe, finishing in the top 4. Can he do the same on the kite surf division? Definitely got some freestyle moves, as you can see, a 9.93 combined with a 5 and a 4.93. So he's got it in the tank. But I believe it's going to be Kiko who's going to be very close to being up next. We saw Leonardo with a crash. So here we go, Kiko. Third trick attempt for the Spaniard. Engages. That's better from Kiko. Plenty of height there. Can he loop the kite at the right time? Can he keep it together? No, he can't. And a rather horrible landing there. I mean, he completely went smashed down. It looked all good right up until the end. Great takeoff. You can see there just how important a takeoff is, as we were talking about that a few seconds ago. When you get that takeoff right, all of a sudden, you'll go so much higher. Kiko, really unfortunate there to not land that one. That would have been one of the highest and best tricks that we've seen so far today. I know we are only in Heat 2, but that will go down as a crash for him. Next up, we go over to Gabriel Benetton, hitting the halfway mark now on the start of Heat number 2. So here we go, Benetton, third trick attempt. What we see here from the Brazilian, looks like he knows his takeoff point now. Here we go, Gabriel Benetton, kite now starting to steer to 12 o'clock. Are we going to see the shove it? But going over the front of his boards, unfortunately that will be a crash. The landing must be so tricky in the chop here. Watch the replay here in slow motion. Really gets lovely rotation around with that double front roll. And just lands, I'm not sure, going over the front of the board, maybe a bit too front foot pressure. But riders needing to actually jump inside the competition area. As we see there, Leonardo Casati landing that trick, but will the judges score it? Because he did fall just after. Riders do have to land successfully and ride out of their tricks. Yeah, Casati there, looking like the judges are going to score that last one. Kiko with the forward front rotation as well. And landing it, I think that was two forward rotations there. Kite loop board off from Leonardo Casati comes in at a 5.67, so that's his highest scoring trick so far. Worth noting that although the score on the top left has calculated 3 of the tricks, only 2 of them potentially will count. The 5.67 as it stands will definitely count. But let's see how he gets on in the waves as well. Kiko with that double front roll. It's coming in nicely actually. Judges liking that score. It's looking like it might be the best one of the heat so far. Yeah, there we go, 6.23. And now Gabriel Benetton needing a score on the boards, needing to do something. At the moment he's been jumping, I've just been told, outside of the competition area. And if that is the case, the judges go for him a big fat 0. So needing to be cautious about where he takes off. As you can see here, takes off 1, 2, lands and sticks the landing. That's better from the Brazilian. As you can see here, 1, 2, board is just glued to his feet. And next up we have Leonardo Casati, Gabriel Benetton's score. Keep your eyes on that scoreboard because it's looking like it's going to edge on Kiko's same move. Leonardo Casati, board off with a board flip and a kite loop. Beautiful stuff there from the youngster. Enjoying this freestyle aspect. 7.10 there for that double front roll. But Leonardo Casati there successfully landing the kite loop. You can see here, kite loop with the board flip. And rides away very successfully on his 5th trick attempt. First successful kite loop we've seen landed in the freestyle so far. It's early doors though, we are only in round number 2. Definitely going to improve one of his scores. Kiko now, coming off a good score of that 6.23. Riding with power now, starting to engage, getting a bit of momentum. Here we go, 1, grabs the boards. But you can see there, looping the kite, just not at the right time. A little bit too late. That's going to be a crash for him. We'll definitely have some fans rooting for him at the beach, being last year's winner. Yeah, you can see here, after the boards, just not looping that kite at the right time and sort of ends up getting bounced out of the water there. Okay, so Gabriel Benetton. 5th trick attempt for him. That first trick, unfortunately, although it was landed, it was outside of the box, hence no score. But he has backed it up really nicely with that last maneuver of a 7.10 1-0, as this time going for the double back roll, but just not able to get the board under his feet. These landings are causing our riders, yeah, they're tough out there. Nice height there from Gabriel. But it's all now coming down to the final trick attempt before we go into the wave element of this heat. You can see there, back roll there, another one. Nearly manages to land successfully on the board. But yeah, that's going to be a crash for him. So final trick attempts now for the three riders in this heat. Leonardo Casati out in front. Although it says 17.37 on there, that's calculating all three scores, I can confirm to you that his score is actually 11.70. As Casati again looping the kite. Is he able to stomp the landing? No, he's not. Couldn't quite get that board, similar to Gabriel, under his feet. But he's still in a very good position going into this wave element with the 6.70 and the 5. So next up, Kiko could do with another score trick here, just to be a little bit in a better position when it comes to the wave. Kiko is definitely one of the riders that prefers most likely the freestyle aspect of this discipline. So we'll definitely want to try and get another freestyle trick dialed down. As we see Kiko here. Having a lot of downwind momentum there. Just trying to get eyes if that was Kiko or not. Nope, I do. Yes, it was. Yes, that was Kiko. So he's stomped a really nice trick there on his last maneuver. Double front row again. With good heights as well there. Is that a claim? Was he claiming there? Last trick for Gabriel. This one's looking good from Kiko. Okay, so here he is. Gabriel Benetton, final trick of the heat for him. He likes what he sees. Gaining speed, kite goes up, back roll, 1, 2, coming down. Is he going to land this one? Loops the kite for the down loop. Successfully, beautiful stuff there from Gabriel Benetton. You can see on that maneuver, a little bit more height played in his favor there. He times the down loop to perfection and was able to get that board under his feet for a clean landing. So that's going to be interesting to see where that bumps him up to, because now, as you can see, our riders are coming back into the beach. Yellow flag goes up and they're going to change their kit. As you can see here, 1, 2, slightly inverted on the second there. You can see they're pulling on that front hand to loop that kite. Get a little bit more lift going down. And successfully lands that final trick. Will definitely be stoked with having at least 2 freestyle tricks on the boards, because now we move into the wave aspect. So 8 minutes are going to be on the clock as I set my timer. And we're going to try and follow all of these riders. They're all going to be going roughly at the same time. So we're going to, whatever rider's on a wave, we're going to be hopefully following during that time. So reminding you, if you've just tuned in, on how it works with the concept and what scores where. Because yeah, if you've just tuned in, you might find it a little bit confusing. But every rider has the freestyle aspect and the wave running aspect of their heats. So we start off with the freestyle. It's turn by turn, and they have 6 trick attempts. Right after this, they come in, the yellow flag goes up, and then we go onto the wave element, where all riders will be riding waves for 8 minutes. Alright, the judges will take the best trick score from each rider, along with the best wave score from each rider. So that's 2 in total, but there are 3 counting. The third will either come from the rider's second best trick or second best wave. Okay, so there's a little bit of variety there on that third, which, you know, is good because sometimes for the freestylers, they can get 2 freestyle moves, 1 wave, or the guys that prefer wave riding can get 2 wave, 1 freestyle. So it definitely can, it's a format that allows things to shape up a little bit. It keeps it interesting, and it allows these riders to push. So who are we going to be following first? At the moment, we are going to be staying with Gabriel Benetton. Big change here, as you can see, is he's switched the board. So he's now riding sort of more of a down the line looking surfboard. Beforehand, that more sort of box style freestyle shape of a surfboard, but now this is more wave orientated. So he's come in for a board change. We're probably going to be seeing a lot of that actually from our riders. Board changes and potentially kite changes as well. Sometimes some of our riders, as we saw in the previous heat, were riding more of a big air style kite. Like, for example, Hendrik Lopez was riding the Moto X from Cabrina, and then he switched and went to the Drifter. So we're going to be seeing a lot of kite changes, a lot of equipment changes during these heats. And as it stands, no rider yet to be on a wave. No waves coming in scores as I can see. But Benetton here is locked and loaded. Nice big hack turn at the top there, getting the fins engaged. Looping the kite, trying to get that second turn in, getting past the white water. Managing to pull another second turn on the slightly smaller section of the wave. But it's a good start for Gabriel. As you can see in the background there, Kiko also maybe on a wave, but that's a nice start from Gabriel Benetton. Scores now to drop for the others. We stick with Kiko now. Oh, actually 2 of them are riding together. Don't worry about that guy in the middle. He is not competing. However, this guy on your screen now is Kiko. All riders have a wave score coming in. Soon the graphic will hopefully be up on your screen as well, so you can see the scores. But I can tell you at the moment, good score from Leonardo, nice score from Gabriel as well. Kiko as well definitely had a wave score, which is a good start for all these riders, because now going about 6 minutes left in this heat. All about picking and choosing that right wave. You can see here Gabriel Benetton on the far right. Kiko here on sort of that blacked out elevate kite. Leonardo Casati nowhere to be seen at the moment. But Gabriel Benetton is turning in. Wave just closing in out on him there. Wanted to get that nice big hack turn, but unfortunately wave was just a little bit too fast. Quite a fast wave we have here. A little bit messy, choppy obviously. Very hard to time. I mean, I don't think we're going to see more than 3 turns on each wave for the duration of the day. But let's see, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I get proven wrong. Happens a lot. But Kiko, as you can see on the right hand side, linking some turns together. Needs to get a bit more vertical, show a little bit more commitment though. Definitely wanting a little bit more power and a little bit more pace. As, yeah, trying to show some freestyle moves there on the wave. Wonder if we'll see any handle passes as well with the likes of Ayrton Cozzolino, James Carews back in the mix as well. Similar conditions to what we had in Brazil last year in Taiba, sort of like cross on shore, mushy waves, but they make it look so easy. As Kiko there on the left, Leonardo going out towards the box on the right, and now we stick with Gabriel Benetton, who hacks at the top there but just loses the board under his feet. Riders not using a leash here either, so they've got to go and body drag themselves to the board, sorry. As Gabriel Benetton pops back up with about 5 minutes left in this heat. Just looking into the comments as well, so it's great to see you all tuning in. Big name as well in the comments as being a bit active. Heel Vloots is here and watching. I hope you're good, mate, and hope you're recovering. Good to see you on the water hopefully soon. Get back on the paddle court as well. And here in Sylt, we are now back with Leonardo. Okay, so once again, Leonardo Casati got youth on his side, hasn't he? He's active. He loves it out there. Big freestyle moves. Put a couple of nice wave scores together as well. His brother's probably shaking in his boots on the beach, thinking, I don't want to come up against this guy. A little bit of brotherly competitive spirit going on, I'm sure. Maybe we'll see them in each other's heats. That would be interesting, wouldn't it? I think, have we had that on the twin tip division before? I think we did in the Gran Canaria final. The two of them were competing against each other. I think Lorenzo got the better of Leonardo there, but on a strapless board, all could change. So probably coming into the final minutes now of this heat. Heat number 2. Heat's roughly about, like I mentioned, 25 minutes. So they're long heats. Leonardo Casati now dropping in. Looks like he's on quite a nice one here, but that wave's closing in on him fast. He's got to get past this white water, and he's got no chance now. Yep, decides, nope, don't fancy that one. Quick little wind update as well. I know all you wind gurus out there like to know exactly what it's blowing, and I can tell you 24.3 knots to be exact to the dot. Oh, my mistake, 24.3. So it's gone up a little bit, and I'll tell you the gust as well, 26.2. So there you go. That's what we're working with at the moment. And the buzzer has just gone, which symbolizes the end of the heat here. So waiting for confirmation to see exactly who goes through, because don't forget, it is a multiple factor in between the freestyle move and the wave move. Can be 2 wave scores, 1 freestyle, 2 freestyle, 1 wave. So once that's calculated, we'll be able to let you know exactly who goes through. Don't go anywhere. We are going to be back very, very shortly with some more action. So very shortly we are going to be, like I mentioned, underway with heat number 3 of round number 1. Before we do, we'll be going to a quick commercial break and a few highlights, so don't go anywhere. Okay, so we're underway now with heat number 3. Been underway for the last few moments. Just popped my head outside the booth and yeah, it's windy. Windy and sunny. Wouldn't have it any other way. A little bit cold, but yeah, windy and sunny. So let's have a little look who we actually have in this heat. Perfect timing. Look at that. Luca Gasparini from Italy. Nicola Avdiev, he's Bulgarian, and Charlie Martin, the Frenchman. So those are our riders. Charlie Martin, one of the top riders, as is Nicola there. Let's just have a little look at where these guys are ranked. So Charlie Martin is 9th at the moment. Let's have a little look at Nicola, currently 17th. And we also had Luca Gasparini, who I don't believe has competed this year in 2024 at the first event of the year in Cape Verde. So yeah, he's without a ranking at the moment for 2024, but he does have a ranking in previous years. He has also competed on the wing foiling world tour as well. So yeah, he dabbles in both sports, dabbles on the foil, dabbles on the surfboard. And here he is dabbling in Sylt. So first to jump. We're currently following Charlie Martin, showing good style, good control there. And I'm just going to have a little look and let you guys know a bit about the judging criteria as well. What are our judges looking for? Okay, so when judges are judging our freestyle tricks from our riders, they're basing it on height, power, style and amplitude combined with the technical difficulty of the maneuvers. Obviously the execution will take a big factor in the competition and will make the big difference. And when they combine technical tricks with power, they've got to land it well as well. It's all well and good doing a huge, nice, big freestyle technical maneuver like such here from Nicola, but if you can't catch your board there, or if you can't land on your board, it's not going to count. That was actually Luca Gasparini. Apologies to Nicola. So the degree of commitment and the risk factor involved in these freestyle tricks as well takes into consideration. Judges want to see speed in and also speed out of the tricks, but it's got to be smooth. Okay, they need to be smooth, show good control, and the landings obviously have got to be clean. The other thing that will be rewarded and factored in is if we see any, you know, different sort of style of board offs, and they need to be clear and visible. We need to see that those legs stretched out, and it all comes down to the style as well. Maybe we might see some innovation. We've got a very tempting and encouraging forecast for the next 2 days, which does show some very, very strong wind upwards towards that 35 to 40 knot mark. So if we see that, maybe we'll see some innovation. Okay, so here we go. Believe this is Nicola here. Charlie Martin with a 4.50. Nicola. Back roll with a board flip. And a face full of water. Did land that trick there, sort of with a semi-crash, was that, would you say? But there we have the drone, and we can see our full-on event site, the setup there on the right-hand side. We're very well looked after here in Sylt. Great event site, lots going on surrounding the competition itself. So we are in the northern part of Germany, really on the borderline between Germany and Dunkirk, and an island called Sylt. Has Charlie Martin doing all sorts up there, but yet not able to link the landing together. Only rider with a scored trick at the moment. Seeing if Nicola's one is coming in. Yep. We see the replay here from Charlie Martin. Nicola 3.60. Back roll tic-tac for Charlie was a 4.5. Luca Gasparini is going to be the next rider to jump. Luca Gasparini here, left foot forwards, parks the kite up to 12. Back roll. Down loop. Just pulling that loop there a little bit early. And that'll be a crash for him. Up next, we are going to be going with Nicola. So Nicola here with the RRD. Going for that board flip, but couldn't grab and catch it on the way down. So again, Nicola having a crash on his third trick attempt. Next up, we are going to be going over to Charlie Martin. Replay here shows Nicola there just not able to grab the board. You can see the frustration there, head rolling back. Charlie Martin now. Soon to follow. Going for his third trick attempt, reaching the halfway point on these freestyle moves. And again, that's how you do a ball flip right there from Charlie Martin. Absolutely nails it. Rides away very successfully from that one. Scores to drop for him. He'll now go with 2 scoring tricks. It's looking like the high 4s, potentially in the 5. Luca Gasparini now. 4th trick attempt. 6 trick attempts is what they have before we move on to the wave element. So here he is. Luca. Goes up. Back rotation. Can he dump the ball under his feet? Doesn't look like it. Got a lot of downwind momentum there. Didn't quite get the lift he was looking for. As we watch the replay here, yeah, see straight away traveling downwind. So a crash for Luca. Next up, Nicola going for his 4th trick attempt as we follow him from the skies. Here he is. Nicola starts to steer that kite up towards 12 o'clock. Beautiful little drone shot there right above him. Replay shows here. Didn't quite get the takeoff. Back roll with a board flip. There you go. And land it nicely. Okay, so that will give him some confidence. That will back up that first score that he had. Charlie Martin here going for the shove it as well, not able to land that one. I mean, the first of the day that we've seen from Charlie. But a crash for him. So Luca Gasparini now really wanting to try and get a score on the board, because there will be one freestyle trick that counts towards the score. He's only got 2 trick attempts remaining, so he needs to get into the groove now. The Italian, what's he got in the tank? Luca Gasparini. Nice wave there, but deciding against it. Does the old U-turn. Maximum of 90 seconds per trick attempt these riders have. So now Luca coming towards the sort of the cusp line when it comes to that time duration. As you can tell, he's now starting to engage. Right foot forward, front roll, and lands it. Yeah, you see straight away with the fist bump. That is what we want to see there from Luca. I thought maybe we were going to see a left foot forward jump, but he actually came around, went right foot forward. As we can see here, gets that front rotation, sticks the ball between his legs, and enjoyed that one. Exactly what he needed there. That's going to give him the score he was looking for. As we now go over to Nicola, 5th trick attempt. Up he goes. Back rotation with the board flip and another one. With nice control there on the landing. So Charlie Martin again wanting that shove it that he tried last, but not able to yeah, get that one either. So he's in a good position though with a 4.72, the highest freestyle move of the heat so far. And now it goes over to Luca Gasparini for his last trick attempt. So a nice finish there for Luca Gasparini with his last trick attempt. And you can see now it's all got a little bit closer. Nicola there with his back roll flip. Back roll board flip has a 4.8. The back roll rodeo tic tac there from Charlie Martin with the 4.72. And Nicola here going for his final trick, which I believe might go down as a crash. It was a little bit of a backslap, heavy butt check to say the least. As he'll now be looking to improve or go, sorry, towards the wave double back roll and a big butt check there. But it's okay, I think that's a landed trick that will be scored, I would imagine. Riders now coming in. Charlie Martin has one more attempt out on the water. We follow him now. Right foot forward. Starts to steer the kite. Goes back roll with the board flip. But unfortunately, yeah, just coming down. Yeah, you can see the frustration. He wanted it. But just the one scoring trick then for each of our riders. Next up, we have the wave element. 8 minutes on the clock. So a couple of board changes here as well from our riders. You can see Luca here coming in, maybe switching something up. I think Nicola done the same. So turn by turn now goes out the window, and these riders will be following whatever wave they can get on, and we'll do our mission of following each rider when they are on each wave. Okay, so here we go. Following at the moment, Luca Gasparini. You can see there, just depowering the kite a little bit. He's using the click bar, so that system on the right-hand side. Luca Gasparini now. I imagine he'll be turning around and riding the waves that side. Okay, so here we go, Luca Gasparini, as well as Nicola and Charlie Martin now. All of them currently not on a wave. Luca Gasparini there. Looked like he maybe wanted to put in a turn, but wasn't able to. Both of those two riders, Luca and Charlie, getting their boards. And Nicola coming all the way into the beach. In the shallows as well, damn. A lot of current out there as well. As Kiko, oh sorry, who was that? Charlie Martin, sorry, gets pulled off his board after what looked like a really nice and aggressive turn. I'll always remember a heat between Charlie Martin and Matthew Lopez, I think it was in Cape Verde, in the semi-final of last year's event. It was an absolute showstopper. What a heat that was between the two of them. Matthew went on actually to go and win the event, I believe. But in that semi-final, it might have even been a quarter-final. I think it was a quarter-final actually, but oh, one of the best heats that I've seen. So many good heats have happened on the Kite-Surf Tour. As Nicola here putting in a nice aggressive turn on that wave to start things off, and then he switched it up riding backside to finish it off, which is, yeah, showing a nice bit of variety there. Charlie Martin now, he followed the Cabrina rider, switched up the kite for one. pretty depowered as well. You can see the toggle in the middle there. He's riding that kite depowered. I'm not sure what size. I imagine it would be a 7. If we look at the live wind report that we have right now, we're about 24 knots, gusting up to 28. So Charlie Martin now, locked and loaded. Here we go. Turns the kite. See the twist in the lines there. Again, yeah, didn't like it. Wanted to engage there, but for whatever reason. Charlie Martin. Continue to follow Charlie Martin now. So I'm just having a look at the scores. I mean, all these riders, you can see the 4, the 4.8 and the 4.72, they're all freestyle moves. So the other ones are going to be wave. Charlie Martin is dropped in on one of the better looking waves. It's starting to close out on him though, but he's linking some nice turns together. This is better from Charlie. He's managing to get 3 really nice check turns, showing commitment and power as he gets that last 4th one. With, yeah, a little 360 at the end as well. One of the best waves that we've seen ridden today, putting him all the way into the beach. That was better there from Charlie. And now we move over to Nicola. Who's getting a couple of turns on the wave, but judges will be looking at, you know, a little bit more power and commitment going in there. Charlie Martin again, this is where he shines. This is where Charlie really can come into his own on the wave section here. He's a great freestyler, but I think on the waves he's up there. So Charlie Martin dropping in on this wave, starts off with a big hack turn. Look at the fins there, coming right out of the water and still managing to keep on this wave, trying to get past this white water, gets another little bit of a check turn in there, managing again when you think he's done and out to keep his feet on the boards. Shocks me sometimes. It's like the board is glued to their feet. Charlie Martin now, right foot forward. Again, locking into yet another wave. Charlie is picking them out here. Challenging stuff, but that's 2 really nice turns, wrapping up with a slightly smaller 3rd one. You can see him really trying to steer that kite and direct it as he gets taken right into the beach. Casually riding fins first, as you do. Nicola here also with the board swap when we moved over to the wave element. And the buzzer has just gone for Nicola. This might not count. He has just dropped in, but again, yeah, decides to pull out. Okay, so heat number 3 and round number 1 coming up next. Don't go anywhere. In the meantime, we will just be waiting here for those riders to take center stage. And we will fire ourselves to some highlights very quickly. So here we go, next riders on the water, round number 1, heat number 4, Luca Dauphin, Keanu Merten, one of the local boys, and then another Brazilian in the mix, Pedro Matos, who also is one of the top riders we have out here on tour. Keanu, one of the younger riders, as well as Luca. We'll be looking to see how far they can advance here in Sylt. But we are now going to be underway with the trick attempts during this heat. So here we go, round number 4 of heat number 1 as we open up nicely here with a kite loop, I believe, from Luca here. Sorry, no, Keanu Merten is the one in the black lycra. So yeah, nice move there from Keanu, another rider who's very talented when it comes to freestyle. And you can see here the Rebel being used. for Pedro Matos. Starts to steer it up, back roll, 1, 2, with a board flip, and perfectly executed. Oh, I said it too early. It looked so good with the down loop, perfectly timed. But just at the end there, getting pulled forward a little bit too much. You can see with that Rebel being able to just get that little bit of extra hang time. You can see that board flip beautifully timed, loops the kite, and just ended up losing a bit of control on the landing. Wind speeds out there, we are reaching 25 knots at the moment. Luca here. Nope. That will go down as a crash for him. So up next, Keanu. Replay here shows that back rotation. And the board just slips out there of his hands. He had it all the way into the bitter end. So let's have a little look as well with the rankings of these riders. Pedro Matos currently ranked 3rd after his result in Cape Verde. Also have Keanu Mertin, who I don't believe has actually competed this year. Neither has Luca Duffin. Yep, neither have competed this year, so there's some points up for grabs with them as Keanu lands yet another freestyle maneuver. Pedro Matos now will be the next one to follow. And here he is on your screen, the Brazilian rider. Starts to park that kite up. 1, 2. Double front roll there. Textbook stuff from Pedro. As we see, here we go once again. 1, 2. Next one to jump, we go back to Luca. So it's nice, this heat here going a little bit faster, which is good to see. Luca, here we go, back roll. But again, struggling with the landing to get the board under his feet. Keanu Mertin with 2 scores on the board, a 5.33 and a 6.83. Highest scoring trick of the heat so far. Also, Pedro Matos with that double front row of a 6.60. Keanu Mertin, current heat leader, next to jump. 3rd trick attempt for him. Going right foot forward, also riding the Rebel. Last year's Rebel, Pedro Matos, on the most recently released Rebel as well. So Keanu Mertin, what's he got for us? He starts to park that kite up to 12. 1, 2, back roll with a board flip. Times the loop perfectly. And once again, Keanu has stepped up his game. 3rd trick now for him. 3rd one landed. You can see here, 1, 2, then flips the board. Loops the kite on the way down and sticks the board underneath his feet. Okay, Pedro Matos now. Coming in with speed. Big kicker here. Deciding against it. Blasting his way through the chop here. Switching it around. Going to go right foot forwards. Yeah, kite's starting to go up to 12 o'clock. But maybe we'll see him switch around and actually do his trick going the other way. Yeah, looks like it. He's just rotated his feet. And here we go, Pedro Matos. You can see here, lining up. Oh! But going over the front of his board. Up. How about that? Doesn't even body drag, just propels himself out of the water and jumps back on the boards. That's one way to save time when you're under a little bit of pressure. And here he goes. 1, 2. Going for the shove it as well. Does he land it? Try to loop that kite and get the momentum to lift him back up out of the water, but that's going to go down as a trick. As a crash. As the replay shows, yeah, just going over the front of the board there at the end. So Pedro Matos will remain on 1 trick attempt. Now on trick attempt number 4. Luca going for the back roll. And lands that one, so he'll be happy with that. He needed a freestyle trick scored. And that was nice. So Keanu Mertin now. Altering the power, left foot forward. Okay, so Keanu prefers the tricks going to the right by the looks of things. Here we go. Goes for it, loops the kite, board flip, and stomps the landing. Keanu Mertin, another freestyle move landed. He's landed every single trick so far. Let's see how that kite loop fares in relation to the previous ones. Here we go, kite loop with the board flip. We saw a kite loop board off from him to open up the heat. That one had the flip. And it's looking like a goodie. Pedro Matos here is currently in second place. He won't be wanting to finish this heat in second because he'll want to be advancing straight through into round number 3. But he needs to get another good freestyle move on lock. I mean, he's got a lovely opener with that double front roll of a 6.6, but really wants to back that up with something nicely. Don't know if we'll see a kite loop from Pedro, but I can imagine the shove it will definitely come into play at some point. Okay, but here we go. Pedro Matos. Here we go. Tic-tac. Back row as well. Sensible stuff there from Pedro on trick attempt number 4. He knows sensible move is to get another trick just dialed in. He's now got 2 tricks that could potentially count towards his score. He can use these next 2 to really maybe push the limits a little bit. As you can see here, the replay of that last move. Yep, we see now Keanu Mertin knocked out that previous kite loop with the most recent one that he did, 5.83. So he's on a good score actually at the moment, Keanu. As we now focus back on to Luca. Up next, let's have a little look who's up next as well. This is about the halfway point. Once this heat's done, this is the halfway point of round number 1. Ooh, there's a big name in the next heat. There is a big name in the next heat. James Carew will be joining us in the next heat. Very interested to see how he will do after a huge break of injury. Nasty injury he had last year in Tarifa at the bigger World Championships. He will be next on the water alongside Kelton Lopez and Louis Gossart. But now let's have a little look at the replay here from Luca. Whoa, nearly gets a board to the face there. Does he manage to ride away? Yes, he does. So he'll get another scored trick there, which he'll be chuffed about. All right, Keanu Merton, the guy that can't put a foot wrong at the moment. Pretty much been for James Carew, who is up next. 1 year to date since that really nasty injury that forced him out. You know, he's been under the knife as well with a couple of ops. Keanu Merton is not putting a foot wrong. This kid loves it out here. He's on home soil in home waters. And he is not here to take part. He is here to take over. As Pedro Matos again now... God, we really zoomed in there with him. Look at the concentration. I was about to say frustration. There's no frustration there. There's concentration as he goes up. 1, 2 with the shove it. And unfortunately, you can see frustrated slightly. He knows he's got it in the locker. We've seen him do that so many times. As the replay, yeah, just skips off the back of the board. So here we go, Luca. Double back roll there for Luca. Can he loop the kite? No, he goes in the drink. Okay, so now Keanu. Here we go, back roll. Oh, with a contra loop by the looks of things. So Keanu just crashing that one, but I mean that is his 6th trick attempt as Pedro Matos finally able to link that one together. He's tried twice already, and on the last freestyle trick attempt he is able to land that shove it there. So riders now coming back in towards the beach, a little bit of an equipment change, and then we'll go into the sequence of 8 minutes for the wave riding. So you can see here the scores at the moment for our freestyle tricks. Top two have been counted. Luca actually only landing, well, he landed 2 freestyle tricks, but only 1 counts because it's in the same category. So now it's all about pure wave riding. And the buzzer goes. So here we go. Pure wave riding now. 8 minutes on the clock. Which rider are we going to follow first? Certainly not that one. So, Keanu here. Looks like we're now, yeah, this is Pedro Matos. So he's gone for a kite change, which looks like he's gone to the Neo. Okay, so Pedro Matos now right foot forward, looking to engage in something, but there doesn't look to be anything on the horizon for him at the moment. You can see they're just playing around with the depower line. Just depowering his kite ever so slightly. Wonder if he's changed the board as well. I think he's still on the same board. But no rider at the moment putting down any solid wave score. There's a couple of scores coming in here, but nothing to get excited about just yet. Keanu here with a low scoring wave, but it will be a score. He is currently in first place, but only by a slither. By 0.14 of a point. Oh, look at this guy. He can't believe what he's seeing. It's all happening, mate, innit? It's all happening down here in Sylt. I feel ya. Okay, here we go. Who have we got here? Looks like Luca actually putting in a nice big turn there. But again, just getting caught up in the white water of the break of the wave. After having a little look at the forecast for the next days, the waves tomorrow, they're looking meaty, they're looking good. Upwards of sort of 3 to 4 meters. Keanu there, not quite getting that big sort of snappy turn that we're looking for at the moment. Pedro, as you can see on the far left hand side, oh, Keanu looping the kite there and just getting yanked down towards the beach. So who are we going to follow now? We can see all of our riders in the competition zone just waiting for the right moment to engage on a wave. Probably reaching the halfway point here in Sylt. Plenty of wind out there. And Pedro Matos getting a nice bit of air time, but falling off the front of the board again and taking a big hit to the water. Trying to grab the board before it gets carried away in the white water. See some Pedro fans in the comments as well. Tuning in, I guess, from Brazil. 22 knots, maxing up to 29. So we're seeing quite a big up and down, sort of gustier conditions maybe this afternoon as what they were this morning. Keanu there, just on your right hand side, nice little air. But Pedro now is starting to engage, drops that kite low, gets one turn. Nice big hack at the top of the wave there. Puts in a little bit of a check turn on the third wave. There's still more to give though on this wave. Rinsing it for all it's got. And that was more like it there. That caused a little bit of excitement. That's the sort of maneuvers and turns we're looking for. Plenty of aggression, speed, power, commitment. You know, these waves, we're not going to see much more than 3 to 4 big turns on each wave. They do tend to close out quite fast, quite quickly. As you can see here, this turn, bang, really spraying the water, driving through the fins of the board. And then just a couple of little check turns to round off what was a nice looking wave for here in Sylt. Oh, he's got it covered, hasn't he, this guy? Don't quite know what to say to that, but that is a shot to behold. So Luca, again, just getting pulled off the front of his board. Some wave scores dropping now. Pedro Matos has a wave score coming in, and it's a goodie. So that last wave we saw from Pedro is the best looking scored wave we are going to see so far. Boom. There she pops. It is 7.17. So that's the highest score of the day so far for the wave with Pedro, and I believe also the highest combined heat total score of the day, just shy of 20 points. So yeah, he'll be happy with that one there, Pedro, as we are now coming into the back end stages of this heat. Beautiful little location of Sylt there in our event site. You can see our judge tower directly underneath the drone, where we've been all day long. Just at the corner of our eye there on the left, we saw Pedro just turning into a wave, but the focus actually remains here with Luca. Luca, nice turn there. Needing a little bit more of a snap at the top there though, but just gets pulled off his board. Windy conditions out there, like I mentioned. It's gusty, so the riders have to take that into consideration. I mean, 10 knots between the mean and the gust speed. It's Diogo Cardoso there, our videographer, getting all the shots. Poor guy's been standing out in 30 knots all day, while I'm just here in the nice warm live booth. Pedro Matos. Not long left now of this heat. Keanu Merton in second place, Luca in third. And there we have it. The buzzer is gone, and Diogo with a smile there as we move over to heat number 5 of men's round number 1. We will now throw it over to the highlights and have a little bit of a recap with what went on that heat. So now we are moving into heat number 5 of round number 1, and there's a big name in this heat, one that everyone's excited to see back on the water. It's going to be Mr. James Carew. He is a previous, I believe, 3-time world champion, and we were lucky enough yesterday to catch up with him. Let's see how he feels to be back here in Sylt.
Yeah, it feels good, you know, to be back here after so long away. I really didn't look at anything except what people sent me. Typically I don't really watch much, but now that I was injured and I couldn't do anything, I just turned it off. I didn't look at anything. I didn't want to look. So I really have no idea what's going on. You know, I'm here, I know my capability, and that's about it, really. And to me, really, that's all that matters. So yeah, in June last year in Tarifa, I bagged my first big air world title, but I also destroyed myself. I destroyed my left leg, so I've been out of action for a year now. So yeah, it's been a hard road to get here. It was a pretty serious injury. I had to have a couple surgeries. More mental than anything. But yeah, it's been a long road to get here, and I'm excited to finally be here and be able to show everybody the work that I've just put in. The hardest part for me was, you know, other people achieving what I wanted to achieve for that year. But, you know, I'm a person I'm pretty selfish, you know, I think about myself most of the time, so I just didn't look. I focused on myself, I locked in, and just the only way for me to achieve what I wanted to achieve was to lock in and was to give it my all, so I did. And yeah, now I'm here, so let's get the results. The rules in the GKA are if we have 5 events, we have 1 discard. So this year I will have a discard. Cabo Verde is the only event that I've missed due to my injury, which works out perfectly because I didn't go. It's going to be my discard. So yeah, pressure's on, get the results, and definitely aiming for another world title this year.
So there we have it, words from a past world champion, James Carew. He will be joined by Kelton Lopez and Louis Gossard. So those are your 3 riders getting in the water. And how about that, the sort of mindset that James Carew has coming back into the tour. I mean, he wants another world championship and he wants it now. And definitely has the capabilities of doing so. But everyone has a question mark, you know, how will he perform? He's definitely put in the work, as he said, a lot of rehab. He's gone through a couple of surgeries. It was a big injury at the same time of claiming his big air world title. Yeah, that left leg took a little bit of a battering, but he's back with a vengeance, back with a purpose, and maybe back with a good result here if he can see his way through to the final stages of this competition here in Sylt. As he mentioned, he can discard the first event of the year, which was in Cabo Verde, where he was still in recovery mode. But he's back now, and great to see him back on tour. He's a great character to have around, extremely driven, focused, and yeah, the riders have got to step up their A game once again because he's back. And Kelton Lopez and Louis Gossard definitely got a challenge on their hand, but again, 2 of those guys, very talented riders. Kelton coming out of Cape Verde, you know, calls a wave like Punta Preta his home break, which is pretty lucky. And James actually over from Australia, so yeah, definitely spent a bit of time over there during his rehab, and actually spends a lot of his time over in the summer months and pretty much all year round over in Portugal as well. A great spot, especially for someone like himself who enjoys riding numerous waves and breaks. So here we go, we are very shortly going to be underway with this heat, starting off with freestyle tricks. And we'll go and move over to the wave. So James Carew here, just getting confirmation if we are actually on the go-ahead. If the heat is on. Okay, so all riders now on the water. Kelton Lopez here, second man to jump. First round of tricks has all happened, but every single one of them had a crash, so nothing really to recap over there. Louis Gossart just landed a nice trick. Scores on the door coming in very, very shortly. Kelton Lopez now, second trick attempt coming here. So keep an eye on Kelton. Brings that kite up to 12. You can see now as the sun is starting to just drop that little bit, it's making that angle especially glistening along the sea as Kelton Lopez goes for the front roll and also goes for a swim. James Carew to follow. So here we go, following James now. Such a distinctive style of riding James has. Always looks like fully locked in, fully powered. Motors along. Oh, he's back. Control. And just like that, James Carew showing that the time out of the water is no phase to him. Watching the replay with that back roll, flips the board around as well. Sort of ends up coming down in slow motion. Just the timing of that down loop, still with the legs fully extended. Beautiful style there from the Australian. He is back. Louis Gossart now, third trick attempt. So a 4.13 for the front roll tic-tac on the previous move from Louis. Here we go, back roll. Oh, nearly manages to grab that board. It's got to put into an extra rotation there, but that'll be gone down as a crash. As now we go to Kelton Lopez with 2 crashes on his score. Replay here for Louis. As you can see there, does manage to grab the board, but just slips out of his fingers. And up next we go back over to James Carew, 3-time world champion, 1 in the big air, 2 on the Kite-Surf World Tour. I think he did the 2 back-to-back as well. I think he won 1 year and then came back, won another. As you can see him just in the corner of the screen there on the left-hand side. A couple of scores to drop on your screen. They're filtering through very, very shortly. And it looks like Kelton... Is that Kelton? It is Kelton Lopez. Yeah, he might have come in and actually... Looks like he's going to be switching gear. Okay, so black flag gone down, red flag gets raised. That means one thing and one thing only. James is next to jump. Let us know in the comments, how far do you think we're going to see James go in this competition? Can you see him winning the title? His first in over a year. Oh, obviously got a handful on his hands with the likes of Ayrton Cosolino. Back roll, oh, just can't grab the kite there. Went for also the kite loop. But that will go down as a crash for James. But not to worry, because we're halfway now in this heat. 3 tricks gone, 3 trick attempts remaining. Okay, Kelton Lopez. What are we on? We're on trick attempt number 4. We had a back roll tic-tac there from Louis Gossart. So Kelton just showing a little bit of frustration there. As the replay shows that crash. So James Carew is going to be up next. Here he is. 4th trick attempt. Has actually a nice trick already scoring, which is the back roll tic-tac that he did. 6.45, highest scoring trick of the heat so far. If he could back that up nicely with a similar score, leave him a little bit of room for nudge and a little bit of flexibility when it comes to the wave riding, but he's equally as good in the waves as he is in freestyle. Back roll with the kite loop. Lands it nicely there, James Carew, putting on the brakes. Did get rather close to the shore there. Risky business, but so much control. You can hear there you go, back roll, yanking up on the backhand as well, looping the kite, and it's looking good. This score looking like it might be one of the highest, if not the highest, freestyle maneuver we have seen so far in the competition. So Louis Gossart, trick attempt number 5. Let's have a look if Louis Gossart did join us over in Cape Verde, or if either, yeah, Kelton Lopez, currently ranked 17th, alongside a few other riders. He was one of the riders to compete in Cabo Verde. James Carew obviously missing the event due to injury. Front roll. Was that a kite loop as well? Yes, I believe it was. He liked it. You could see there, very, very happy with landing that trick. Looked like he might have lost it a couple times, but great control. Pulled in that front maneuver as you see there. Yanking on the kite, giving the loop, and stoked to land that one. Kelton Lopez now could do with another score on the board. When I say another, I mean by having one. Kite loop back roll board off from James, 8.17. Highest freestyle trick of the day so far. And it's come from the guy that's been out for the year, James Carew. Kelton Lopez with a crash just a minute ago. Louis Gossart as well, looking like he's going to throw down another trick, but Kelton here, you can see double front roll. Go for the shove it as well. That'll be a crash, however. So now we go back straight away to James Carew. Here he is, the Australian. Okay, so we're on trick attempt number 5 here. James, left foot forward, looking what's in front, trying to use the kickers. Quite close at the moment, actually, where it's a little bit shallow. And if anyone knows anything about shallow waters, it is James. So here we go, keeping our eyes on the prize. Smouldering along there. Back roll, kite loop. Swinging nicely under the kite. Fully in control, James Carew once again. So dialed, so at one with the equipment. Just knows exactly where it is all the time. Do you see here, back roll kite loop, or sorry, contra loop maybe. I have a feeling that might have been a contra. He did pull with that front hand. So here we go. Trick attempt number 6 now, I believe. Yes, number 6. Last trick attempts for our riders. One of the riders that desperately needs a landed trick is Kelton Lopez, because at least one score must be counted from freestyle. At the moment, he doesn't have a score on the board. Louis Gossart and James Crew both have 2 scores on the board. James Crew looks like he's really putting in a hefty score as well on that last manoeuvre. Louis Gossart, unfortunately, just missing out there on that last freestyle move, but he's still got 2 goodies there. Yep, James Crew, contra loop, back roll, board off, 7.53. So he is really in a league of his own at the moment with the freestyle. Let's see how the waves go, because 2 tricks left, Kelson and James, and then we go into the 8-minute wave sequence. Kelton here, motoring along, plenty of speed. 1, front roll. But yeah, you can see a little bit frustrated there, head in the water. And here he is, James Carew, pulling with the front hand again with the contra loop, and 6 the landing. So focused, as you can see. And that's it for the freestyle. Riders now coming in for the wave discipline, and wave element of the heat. So we've now got a 1-minute break until we were going in with the wave sequence. As you can see, riders coming in, changing their boards, maybe even changing their kite. And then the 8-minute countdown will start. So waves coming up next. Okay, so here we go. Yellow flag is still up. As soon as that drops, the 8 minutes is going to be up. So here we go. Out on the water, James Carew had a great start. Awesome score so far. So we'll try and follow one of the 3 riders when they find the wave that they want to go on. And here we have James Carew siding against that one. No wave scores coming in just yet. Okay, so here we go. Following James as he's slicing and dicing up this wave here. Nearly losing it there, but showing great control. Being connected to the gear. James actually deciding with the Rebel by the looks of things. I think he was also on the Neo for the trick section, but I believe maybe running the D-Lab. Actually, no, I think it was the Evo D-Lab that James was on for the trick section. He's now reverted to the Rebel for the wave. Interesting choice there. I think Louis here with one of the new Neos. So a great view from above there. And just getting some wave scores coming in now. So James Carew bang on a 5. So he's now on a 21.17, highest combined heat total so far. And by actually quite some distance as well. 0.55 for Kelton Lopez. So he's starting to put a few scores on the board now, but he will be 1 short because he didn't manage to land the freestyle trick. Louis Gossart as well, also with 1 wave score counting. As we are now in that sequence of 8 minutes, probably about halfway, maybe just over in the time frame, as James Carew now is on your screen, charging up the line, getting to the edge of the competition area to fire back round. Louis Gossart here, and not sure quite exactly where Kelton Lopez is, but we will locate him very shortly. Maybe he's ripping and dipping on a wave. James Carew also with a 3.97 wave, which you won't see on your score because it doesn't bump out any of the other higher scores that he has currently. Local time here, just past 6:30. Wind is still pumping. Let's have a little look at the updated wind read. We are currently sitting on 25 knots. It's been pretty consistent actually this afternoon. pretty stable as well with the breeze. James here really hacking against the wave there before it closed out, managing to get that last turn in. And the little 360 as well, just to wrap things up. It looks like he hasn't been out for a single day, let alone a whole year. So that wave score for James Sylt to come in. Louis has actually been able to just up his score a little bit. Still in second place though, but 2.50 for Louis. His last wave actually looked a little bit better as well. His scores are dropping for both Louis and James. Kelton struggling again to get a couple of higher scoring waves on the board. James Carew currently first. Louis Gossart in second. Kelton Lopez in third. As we're following here, Louis Gossart riding one of the smaller waves. Not really getting that sort of top to bottom turns. But James here, again, bumping out the fins, riding the foam a little bit. You can see now really pulling on the lines there, looping the kite to gain some momentum once again. But unfortunately that wave closed out on him. So we follow James Carew. Looks like one of the last waves that he did with a 5.6, and there is the buzzer. So that is now the end of the heat. Heat number 6 is going to be coming up in round number 1. We're more than halfway through round number 1 now. And yeah, 3 heats remaining, 6, 7 and 8. Don't go anywhere.
Wir sind die mit dem Frühlingsquark. Würzig mild, extra cremig und immer frühlingsfrisch. Für euch haben wir immer neue Ideen, damit für alle was dabei ist, auch vegan. Macht's euch einfach lecker mit der Quark- und Streichvielfalt von Milram. Jetzt wild und neu, Frühlingsquark Wildkräuter.
There's so many different places that I've never seen before, and a million things I never felt this way. Time to go now. New horizons waiting, sail away with me. We are the oceans, feed the sky.
AIDA. Erlebt euch anders.
Yeah, got me upside down, spinning around you. taste the clouds, dance with the moon. Take a trip around your body. Boy, I love the way you got me. Starry-eyed, got me starry-eyed. Got me upside down, spinning around you. Wanna taste the clouds, dance with the moon.
And welcome back, everybody. We continue on with the competition. Blue flag is up in the sky, so let's have a little look at the riders that will be on the water. So let's have a little browse. Who is going to be up next? Heat number 5. Sorry, heat number 6. Giving those lenses a little bit of a clean. Jordi Sanka, Woodley Hall, and as Joe likes to say, Mr. Tropicana, Matthew Lopez. Matthew actually basing himself over in Tenerife for quite a lot of the time, but also rides regularly over in his home spot in Cape Verde. Woodley Hall, like James, residing over in Australia. And then we have Jordi Sanka, another Cape Verdean. So we move now into the tricks. So 6 trick attempts is what these riders have. It's turn by turn. So at the moment we're following Jordi Sanka. First trick attempt for him. So Jordi going up. Board off. Does he land it? Unfortunately not. So that's a crash there. Actually, sorry, for Woodley Hall, I believe. Matthew Lopez is the next rider to jump. Or should I say it's a trick? Opted for a similar option to his other companions. He's also gone for a big air kite. When it comes to the freestyle, most likely see him then switch over to a wave kite. So yeah, Woodley Hall crashed that first trick. Matthew Lopez now his first trick attempt. James Carew really setting the standards high in that last heat. He advances straight through to round 3. So we'll see James Carew back in action later on this week. Wind speeds are looking at about 22 to 25. Whereas Matthew now starting to engage. Maybe wanting to go for a bit of a pop there. You saw the direction of the kite going up, but he goes for a front roll and sticks the landing nicely. So Matthew Lopez opening up with a simple trick for him. Okay, so back into sequence. Second trick attempt now. Jordi Sanka is the rider to go. As you can see, the blue lycra on the left-hand side there as we're following him from the sky. Beach is nice and busy. I was fortunate enough just in that little break to get a bit of fresh air. Still blimmin' windy out there as well. So Jordi Sanka engaging back roll and loses the board. Jordi, one of those riders, probably more preference to the wave section. Just locating our riders. There he is. Okay, Woodley Hall next to jump. Here we go, Woodley. Still waiting to follow Woodley, see what he can do. As, yep, score coming in now for Woodley Hall. Okay, so here we go. Geordie Sanker there. Just missed a couple of tricks there. But we have the back roll tic-tac from Woodley Hall. We have the double front roll from Matthew Lopez. So Matthew Lopez cancelling out that initial front roll. Geordie Sanker as well going for the front roll. Loops the kite at a perfect time. But just, yeah, landing. Landings we're seeing is where they're really struggling. So we're on trick attempt number 3. Woodley Hall is to follow. Just had confirmation as well that this will be the last heat of the day. So last heat of the day here in Sylt for the Defender GKA Kite-Surf World Cup 2024 second kite-surf event of the year. Following on from one of our first events of the year actually over in Cabo Verde, if not the first. And Woodley Hall here. Going for his third trick attempt as he goes up, looking to loop the kite, but goes down like a pin drop there. Now Matthew Lopez, as you can see here, look, grabs the board right at the front but loops that kite really late. Okay, Matthew Lopez stomping the landing beautifully there. That'll be another scored trick for Matthew. So he'll now have 2 on the board, which will put him that bit further out in front on the 5.77 from this angle. Here we go. A bit of a board flips, board spins with a rotation as well. Geordie Sanker now. Following Geordie, going left foot forward, right foot forward. No, sorry, left foot forward. Left, right, left, right. Decides to turn around against it. Score still to drop from Matthew. Jordy Sanka still waiting to do his freestyle maneuver. Yep, here we go. It's a kite loop board off, but with not enough height at all. You need to go higher and show more commitment going into that move. You know, when you're looping the kites, as demonstrated by James on a few of them, height is definitely your friend. It allows the kite to sort of reset, fire its way back under 12, enabling you, the rider, to sort of swing under it like a pendulum. And yeah, height and speed definitely your friend when it comes to looping the kite. So here we go. If you're still with me, we're on round number 1, heat number 6. This is the last heat of the day. So why don't you just continue and enjoy this one with me, because it's been a good day of competition. We started early doors, actually wrapping up the hydrofoil big air competition. Charles Waddell was the winner. And now we're on the kite surf. And although these are early rounds, we've still seen some epic performances. And big shout out has to go to that last heat with our main man, our previous world champ, James Carew. He get highest combined heat score of the day. Matthew Lopez here as well will be happy to get this heat out of the way as well, as he goes for a back loop with a board flip. Not the cleanest of board flips, but nonetheless, having that amount of height on the jump allowed him to sort of come down with plenty of style and ease. So Matthew Lopez will be happy with that one. It's been a good day of competition here in Sylt, as I did say. The women are yet to take to the water on the kite surf discipline, but the hydrofoil is finito, and we're now working on getting as far as we can with the men, but we're wrapping things up after this heat number 6, and we'll be back tomorrow. Hopefully we'll have a start time to announce to you all in the next few moments. Local time coming up to 7 PM. Looking at the forecast for tomorrow as well, it is exciting stuff, nail-biting stuff. Actually, I'm on the edge of my seat looking at this forecast. Upwards of 35 knots. A little shift in the wind direction as well, which should hopefully allow the conditions to clean up a little bit. A little bit of cloud cover, maybe some spells of rain as well. Weatherman here giving you all the ins and the outs as to what I'm predicting. But I'm predicting some epic competition, some epic conditions, epic wind, epic waves, and just an all-round good vibing day. So you want to be tuning in from wherever you are in the world, whether that's the morning, the afternoon, or the evening. Got to be with us every step of the way. Also, Friday looks really, really good, even better than tomorrow. In fact, I think the plan of the action is to wrap things up Thursday, Friday, and leave Saturday, Sunday as a little bit of playtime. But let's see how we go. We've got good conditions all week, and a first possible start in the morning will be announced at the end of this heat. But so far, Matthew Lopez in first, Woodley Hall in second, Jordy Sanka in third. Okay, Woodley Hall now. .43 for his first manoeuvre. And he's now switching round. 5th trick attempt as he goes for a back roll kite contra loop, I believe. Maybe a kite loop actually. We'll see very shortly. But it is now a crash for him. But he's got one more trick attempt. The back roll tic-tac was his 3.33, which he scored on his second trick. Since then, unfortunately, not being able to link anything together. And we now go to Matthew Lopez. Here we go. Yeah, so front hand was right initially. And then I think, yeah, just coming off the lip of that wave afterwards was where he lost a bit of control. Because he actually did land that one nicely. Matthew Lopez, not able to grab the board there. And just having a little look at that board as well. It looks like it's the new Provoke as well. All blacked out, stealthy looking board. That's the freestyle dedicated board in the duotone range there. Geordie Sanka now, last trick attempt. Oh, he's gone for the old double board flip. Was successful with the first, unsuccessful with the second. Woodley Hall. Last trick attempt. Could really sort of do with getting another one down here just to cushion himself a little bit when it comes to that 8-minute wave ride section. Maybe he plays it a little bit safe. Let's have a little look. Lining up here, starts to dive. It looked like he wanted to engage there. But again, just struggling with the takeoff that ever so slightly. So Woodley Hall again. Woodley Hall looking to go and loop as well. Has he got enough time to get over? Oh, going straight over the front. There he is, pops up. He's alive. As you can see here, yeah, pulling with the backhand, so that's a kite loop board off. Didn't have enough height, I don't think. Tried to get that board under his feet. Matthew Lopez, final trick attempt as well. Oh, it's choppy out there. Getting that takeoff is really tough. Let's see, Matthew Lopez probably going to be doing, switching rounds. Going left foot forward, trying to use the kickers to their advantage. Wind just feels like it's picked up a little bit here in the booth. I can sort of hear everything clanging around a little bit. Yeah, we're up to about 27 knots at the moment. So here we go, Matthew. Yeah, he looks powered on that Rebel there. Starting to run out of time a little bit. I mean, it's not the end of the world. He does have 2 solid tricks in the foundation. But here we go. Yeah, he's starting to steer the kite up to 12. Nope, he's going to do turn around. Okay, this has got to be it now. He's got to engage. There's a nice kicker forming ahead. It's a little bit lumpy and bumpy. But this has to be it now. Matthew has to engage. Otherwise, he's going to be tacked out. He's decided against it as well. I'd be surprised if he's able to carry on here. Unless he does something really quick. Yep, he's gone for it. Front roll with a front shove it as well. There we go. That's what we were waiting for. He enjoyed that one as well. A little bit of a fist pump. So we're just going to be going to the wave section in a very, very short moment. So don't go anywhere. Riders are now coming into the beach, swapping equipment, and then they're going to be going back out. Okay, so riders, as you can see, just coming in, changing their kit, and then they will be heading back out to do the last 8 minutes of the day, actually, of this wave element in the heat. Okay, so now we're underway in this wave section. You can see there Jordi Sanka actually just losing that board. But he's back on his feet now. Nearly got swallowed up there. So let's see if we've had any wave scores down at the moment. I think Matthew and Woodley still yet to get back out onto the water. Yeah, he is, Matthew Lopez. Yeah, he's done a board change. And I believe most likely also a kite change as well. So Matthew Lopez currently ranked 5th in the world after his result in Cape Verde as well. And Jordi Sanka also might have competed being from the spot. Yeah, he is 17th. He had a 17th place finish in Cape Verde, and I think Woodley Hall actually didn't compete with us. Oh, you know, he did. He had a 5th place finish as well in Cape Verde, so a great result for him. So all 3 riders here in this heat are ranked in the 2024 rankings. So all 3 are hungry for a great finish here, a top finish here, to better their chances of having a taste or a chance of getting the world title. World Championships will be crowned in Brazil. We head over there in November, but actually before we go to Brazil, we have another kite surf event taking place at quite a famous break over in Morocco, Dakhla. End of September, we see ourselves go over there once again. One of the spots on tour that we love going back to year in, year out. I was fortunate enough to go there a couple of years ago myself when we had epic conditions. We always seem to get that little bit lucky over there. So looking forward to that one, but first, full focus here in Sylt. Will be a different event in the fact that we do have, you know, we pretty much will be incorporating that freestyle move here in Sylt. Not to say that can't happen at other spots, but places like Morocco, when we're sort of more guaranteed sort of that longer right-handed braking wave, it tends to be more wave focused than freestyle. But here we mix it up a little bit, and it's good to see. Definitely opens the door for a lot more to happen, for a lot more spanners to be thrown out the toolbox. Matthew Lopez at the moment in 1st place. The only one with actually a score on the board for a wave. That's the 2.07 that you can see on your screen now. Probably about 5 minutes left in this heat. This will be the last heat of the day. We'll be kicking things off tomorrow morning with round 1, heat number 7 most likely. Still all to be confirmed. Juan Antonio, our race director, will confirm shortly. You can also follow all of the updates by following our social channels on Instagram, GKA Kite World Tour. Get all the updates, the ins and outs, the behind the scenes, the lot. That is the best way to follow the tour. So we've got a crashed kite here with that Neo, I believe was Matthew. And Jordi Sanka now starting to engage. You can see really trying to steer that kite here. One in that 2nd turn now, but just again, yep, losing balance a little bit, and then that white water just coming in and swallowing him whole. And it's a big old mission to go and chase that board back into the beach. Woodley Hall, Matthew Lopez also still out there. As Jordi manages to fetch his board, making his way back out to the edge of the competition area. Woodley there also coming very into the shallows. These waves really taking our riders right in towards where the judges are in the tower. But it's last heat of the day, just past 7 o'clock local time here in Germany. It's been a really nice day today, consistent wind pretty much, a little bit of rain clouds around 1 and 2 o'clock where we had to stop and start some of the hydrofoil big air competition, but we managed to wrap things up there with Charles Waddell taking the victory. Who's going to take the victory in the last heat of the day here, though? It's looking like Matthew Lopez at the moment. He's a comfortable way in front of the other two riders. As, yeah, here he is, the man of the moment, Matthew Lopez. Most spots on tour that we go to, we see him actually ride backside, so he'll be fortunate and happy that this way, he's actually switching around. Jordi Sanka now, coming into the final stages of this heat now. So final minutes, final moments in fact. Maybe a wave or two left for these riders to get their teeth into. Matthew Lopez just checking over his shoulder. Okay, here we go. First turns coming in. Bang. Nice big spray there. Laying it back. Engaging that back foot into the fins. Trying to drive through this white water section where the wave breaks a little bit. A slight bit of an air. And nearly manages to keep it together. Always looks like he's got dry hair as well when he goes under. I don't know how that's possible, but always thought that to myself. Jordi Sanka now in a similar position to where Matthew was. Gets one big, nice carving turn in. Can he get the second? A little bit on edge there, but does manage to get the second. But again, pops over the front of the board with it popping behind him. And there we have it. I just heard the buzzer beat. So that is the end of the heat and also the end of the day. So just before we wrap things up for the day with some start times for tomorrow, let's just go and have a little look at the heat highlights from round number 1, heat number 6. So there we have it, everyone. That is the end of day number 2 here for the Defender GKA Kite-Surf World Cup. It's been a really, really good day, as I mentioned. We actually started the day wrapping up the hydrofoil big air competition, the first one of the year. Charles Waddell taking the victory. But then we focus onto the kitesurf discipline. And with the round number 1, an interesting format of both freestyle and wave elements, mixing it up a little bit. And that sure does open the door to a lot of riders actually that, you know, also have that great freestyle element and that great wave. Great to see the likes of Matthew on the water and also the heavy hitter that is James Carew. He's back in action with the highest heat total score of the day. So he sure is back with a vengeance. Tomorrow we're going to be back with a first possible start of local time, 10 AM. Okay, so put that one in your diaries because we're going to be back. We've got a strong forecast. There's good swell. We're all amped. The riders are here. And it's all systems go, go, go. So enjoy your evening. Thanks for tuning in. My name's been Liam Dredge, and we'll see you on day number 3.
And welcome back, everybody. Welcome back.
World champions will be crowned. Legends will be made. This is going to be epic.
This is a dream come true.
And let's go for the next one.